Hey, shit.
Couch Guy Sports Podcast, episode number 173. Look, if you're watching this right now on YouTube, I do not know what this is going to look like at the time of recording. We switched over to Zoom because Skype has been dicking us, and I'm going to talk shit about Skype because what are they? They don't sponsor shit.
Suck
Skype
my ass, Skype.
Skype has been garbage over these past 3 weeks. Horrible. And I just told Al what happened. So we've got Al Nahigian back on the show. We got me, Nick Quaglia, Jared Scali, Al Nahigian on the show this week. And Al's on for certain reasons. You know, I love having Al on the show. I said that last week.
Let's be honest, Nick. Let's be honest. Nick, you had Al on tonight, so you could talk shit about his fantasy.
But I'm here.
I know that. I knew that coming in.
But I'm here.
Jared, I literally texted Quags and said, you have every right to shit on me because of the week he had in fantasy. So I was like, okay. Once I got the invite, I'm like, okay, I know what this is about. I'm not that dumb.
If you don't think that I'm going to talk about not just the Couch Guy Sports fantasy team I've got going right now, but also my one at home, my big money league at home with all my friends from high school. Because, yeah, I had multiple friends at high school, you motherfuckers.
You did? That's
impressive. Baby,
That's
did.
Shocking.
And I am jacked up about fantasy football, which just means I'm going to lose week 2 in both the leagues. That's all that
Nick,
means.
I went 3-0 this week, so I'm fucked. It's really.
Well, yeah, I'm going to lose this week, but I'm jacked up. But yeah, anyway, and then also like I'm wearing a hat. I've still got like the new haircuts. Usually I don't wear hats right now, although I love this fucking hat. I've got and you guys saw it on the video I sent, Smack Talk in the group chat for the fantasy league.
Oh, the one where you look like a tomato?
Dude, I got burnt on Saturday. Like burnt. And like this, I look kind of tan now at this point. I look like I was on vacation. I wasn't.
Gilly threw that little dig in there at you in the recap blog. He got don't worry, you got your little shit talking in there.
I know. He said well, I mean, like I was that shit talking video I had sponsored by pre-workout because I was all jacked up and I was amped up and I was ready to send it and like crushed the video. But I looked tan because I got absolutely roasted on Saturday. I've been peeling just because we had the video show tonight. I've been peeling my skin off all day because I've just been peeling in general. So I've been peeling it off so you couldn't really see it. But I still look red, but not nearly as bad. Now I look like I have a nice lush tan. That's all it looks like.
You look like you're white with some red marks, bud.
You should have seen it.
He's not wrong.
You should have seen it on Saturday. It was bad. We were standing out there in the sun because we were working on something for the business that I will be opening up in the coming weeks. So stay tuned for that. That is Outside Couch Guys Sports. And we were out there doing photos for the business. And I didn't realize, like, it started off, we started at 8 a.m. We were done at like 6 p.m. Not to shout out my work ethic, but we were out there all day long. And at first, when we got out there, it was sweatshirt weather. It was cool. It was beautiful. So all day, it didn't get too hot, but we were just out in the sun. We weren't under any shade. All of a sudden, around like 4 o'clock, my head started to hurt. Like I could feel my forehead starting to burn, and I usually wear a hat. I wasn't wearing a hat that day, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I look at my phone. It looked like I dove face first into the sun, like it was a pool.
You'd be dead there, bud. You'd be a little melted.
I felt like I should be dying. I felt like I should have been dead.
Well, hey, that's up. Each their own, right? To each their own. Is that how the children say it?
Each their own. Yes, Jared. Yes, Papa Scali. That is how you say it.
Just because you have a kid.
Saying it.
Just because you have a kid doesn't mean that you should forget how to speak young kid vernacular. How old are you? 28?
You are such a dad. You are literally such a dad.
I can't believe you've got a kid at 28. Like I do not plan on having a child at 28. And
I'll probably have 2 kids by the time I'm like 31. So
game plan for me is like maybe 30, but 28 I couldn't imagine. I remember when I was younger, I was like, when I was a stupid child, I was like, when I'm 25, I'll have kids. I'm 26 now. If I had a child right now,
I mean, like Nick, we're not comparing lives. I mean, I bought a house at 26. So
I know. I'm aiming next year, but you were further along with the financial journey, the money, than I am at this point, but I also still just maturity-wise. Just maturity-wise, I can't have a fucking child right now.
No, you can't. You couldn't handle it.
Knowing you'd probably name it Manscaped.
You're damn
Try to
right.
name my kid Manscaped. So,
Well, you dropped the ball on that one, Jared.
no, I have a better name.
I don't know about that. The middle name, yes. The first name,
Oh, hey, no,
It's a good name.
Eliana is absolutely beautiful.
Sorry, I'll
great
tell her
name.
to slap you across the face when she gets older. It's fine.
Weekly dump. Guys, we got a lot of sports news come back. I don't know how we did this show in the middle of the summer during quarantine when there was absolutely nothing on, but we finally have a ton of sports coming back. The Big Ten announced that they will be returning the week of October 24th, looking to play 8 games in 8 weeks, followed by the championship. League's presidents and chancellors decided this unanimously. LeBron James, shout out Connor Ryan, your fantasy. LeBron James named to his 16th All-NBA team, giving him the honor now the most times in NBA history. Chris Godwin put into – that's pretty impressive.
That is pretty impressive.
I don't want to hate – I dislike LeBron, and I have for a long time. Grew up a Boston Celtics fan. I mean, it's just like he's been in the East forever. It's legit every time the Celtics have had a good team and gone to the ECF or whatever. It's been the Celtics versus LeBron, not his team. It's the Celtics versus LeBron. So fuck LeBron. But he's in the West now. Whatever. You meet him in the championship. LeBron, Lakers versus the Celtics. Beautiful. But we're gonna talk about the Celtics later. LeBron James. You can hate on the guy all you want. I do it all the time. He's unreal.
Oh, yeah.
Unreal.
Second best player ever.
Best player ever. Damn not going to give him. We talked about the documentaries on here of Michael Jordan. We ain't going to give that GOAT status to LeBron, but I'll give him a second GOAT. I'll give him GOAT number 2. Chris Godwin put into concussion protocol, so fantasy owners who have Chris Godwin, suck it. Do either of you guys have him?
Nope. Mike Evans.
Oh, that's tough.
I benched him. I didn't play him this week.
Listen, Tom Brady, we're going to talk about him. That guy stinks. Richard Sherman lands on the IR with a strained calf and will be out for the next 3 weeks. College basketball season will be getting going on November 25th. Officially, the Clippers, the best story of the week, the most hilarious story of the week. The Clippers blew a 3-1 lead. We thought it was going to be a battle of LA versus LA in the Western Conference Finals.
Should have been.
It should have been. But Paul George stinks. Doesn't care about basketball. It seems like that's at least the persona he puts on. And Kawhi, I mean, like, with just having Kawhi on your team, you should go to the Western Conference Finals. You just should. But
I mean, to be fair, Toronto literally won the title with less and Kawhi.
Yes.
Like, I think the Clippers have more talent than the Raptors did with Kawhi.
Think about this, too. Doc Rivers left Boston to go to a better situation with the Clippers. Yeah. How many times has Doc been to the conference finals? How many times have the Celtics been to the conference finals in that span of time?
It's funny because Doc didn't want to do a rebuild, and like he kind of did it on the fly thing. The Celtics were really bad for 1 year.
That's really it.
And that was the year they drafted Marcus Smart, baby, and that was it.
It doesn't bode well for Doc. He does not look good in this situation at all. And I was having this conversation actually last night. A lot of people seem to have this idea that basketball coaches don't really matter. They do. They absolutely do. Like, they definitely do. They do a lot on the sideline. Maybe not as much as the other coaches. I'll give you that. Not as much as the other coaches. Maybe, not as much as the other coaches. But they do more than people give them credit for.
Unless you're Nick Nurse, that Velociraptor-looking son of a,
I think Nick Nurse is a good coach.
Nick Nurse is a good coach.
Yes, but he's a baby. He whines about every
so is Jayson Tatum.
Call. No, Tatum is not as bad as Nick Nurse. Don't even.
Nobody's
as
bad as Nick Nurse.
Thank you.
Nick Nurse
close,
is bad.
Man. Have you been watching Tatum play? We'll talk about it. Just keep going.
Well, one of my favorite things about the Celtics playoffs that I've noticed is like Dan Tice, like his personality is like really showing. Dan Tice, I think he gets hosed a lot. Absolutely, 100%. But
yeah.
Dan Tice could punch somebody in the mouth and they'd call a foul on him and he'd be like,
"What do you mean?
What do you mean? What did I do?"
It's the whole Celtics team. It's the Celtics team in general. It's just they're young.
Oh my God, it's brutal. I love Dan Tice. I love when he's on the floor. But every single time.
Who the hell calls him Dan Tice?
No,
Dude,
nobody.
I do. We're
Like
buddies.
his name is it's Daniel Tice or Danny
On
Tice.
what planet?
If you're buddies, it's Danny. Who calls them Dan Tice? Mr.
Dude,
Sir
we're
Dan
buddies.
Tice. Yes, sir. Yeah. No.
Dude,
You're
ask
not.
him.
Stop
Ask him.
it.
We're
Daniel
friends.
You're not
Tice.
friends.
I was down in the bubble.
You don't have friends.
I was down in the bubble last week. I've got plenty of them. Dan Tice is one of them. You know what? No, we don't. He probably forgot. Okay, he probably just forgotten. Okay.
Oh, you're in La La Land. My God.
Dude, whatever. And then back to the Paul George thing. He said he's just not a winner. He said, quote, internally, we've always felt that this isn't a championship or a bust year for us. We didn't have enough time together.
What whole year?
You had a whole season.
That's a loser's excuse. We never felt this was a championship or bust season. You know what winners say? If we don't win, it's a title, it's a fail. You know what LeBron says every year? If I don't win a title, it's a fail.
And that's why Paul George can't be a number one ever on any team. And he wasn't the number one on this team.
No,
he was barely number 2.
Barely. Right.
And to rip through the NFL scores real quick before we wrap this up, the Chiefs opened up the year beating the Texans 34-20. Deshaun Watson did not look good at all in that game. The Bills took down the Jets 27-17. Packers beat the Vikings 43-34. Aaron Rodgers looked like that Jordan Love pick really ramped up Aaron Rodgers.
Jimmy Garoppolo 2.0, baby.
This is Jimmy G 2.0. It's the same thing. Aaron Rodgers ripped it up. The football team beat the Eagles 27-17. That's my favorite thing. I keep getting notifications because I've got Terry McLaren on our Couch Guy League, and I get the football team, blah, blah, blah. I was like, what do you mean? At first, when I first got that, I was like, what?
What football team?
I picked the Eagles in both my survivor pools, too, so I was not happy about that.
It's a bad look. Dude, Dwayne Haskins and McLaren, they're big. They are big.
It was the easiest pick this week. They're playing the Jets, the Bills, guys.
I tried to think outside the box. I wanted to save the Bills, but I'm buying back in.
Ravens smoked Baker Mayfield, who actually looked like absolute garbage, 38-6. The Jaguars surprised everybody and beat the Colts 27-20. The Las Vegas
Rivers,
Raiders,
baby.
Phillip Rivers, man, they struggled.
No, Gardner Minshew, baby.
Gardner Minshew.
Well, I meant Phillip Rivers sucks in the last 2 minutes, but okay.
The Vegas Raiders versus the Panthers, 34-30. Raiders, the Bears, and that's off of that's the Raiders' first game being labeled Las Vegas Raiders. Mm-hmm. The Bears beat the Lions 27-23. Seahawks over the Falcons 38-25. The Patriots beat the Dolphins, which we're going to talk about, 21-11. The Chargers beat the Bengals 16-13. And the Cardinals beat the 49ers 24-20. Saints over Tom Brady and the Bucs 34-23. Rams over the Cowboys 20-17. Jared Goff in that game, for the first time, I think maybe ever, I was like, he looks good.
People forget he hasn't been in the league that long. Like,
he looked like, it wasn't me, or was his arm stronger? He was throwing lasers.
I think they got him to beef up. I think having, honestly, and this is weird to say, I think having less weapons has helped him because we all know, like, Brandon Cooks has an ego. We saw it here. He wants the ball all the time. So, like, losing him really helps the cause because now, like, you know you're going to go to Robert Woods and Cup, and that's it. And then you have a reliable tight end. Like, it's gotten simpler for him since the Super Bowl season, I think, and it helps him because he's not the smartest dude in the world.
And then Monday Night Football, we got the Steelers over the Giants 26-16. And the Titans beat the Broncos 16-14. That was the NFL Week recap.
Oh, and Steven Gostkowski sucked. Side note.
Steven Gostkowski
sucked.
This is why people got to stop questioning Bill. And I know this wasn't really a question because we've watched it for a little bit now. Steven Gostkowski stinks now. He can't.
It wasn't this bad,
anymore.
But he sucks.
That was brutal. What did he miss? 4 or 3?
3?
I think it was 3.
And like barely made the game winner. Like, God, that guy is jello.
Bad. He got the yips a couple years ago, and he hasn't shaken them yet.
It's a shame because he was a Hall of Fame kicker. He was a legit kicker. He wouldn't miss.
He still might be. For the first 10 years, he was automatic.
Is Vinatieri still around? Can we bring him to New England still? He's still a free agent, right? Can we does he want to kick?
I mean, that was a great reunion.
He only has to kick field goals still, just like Indy, right? We have what's his face?
Nick Folk?
Else.
Jake Bailey.
No, Jake Bailey.
Oh,
okay. Jake Bailey can do kickoffs. He can do punt. All Vinatieri has to do is line up and kick extra points and kick field goals.
I think they still have faith in this kicker the rookie kicker that they drafted.
Russ.
The racist?
Russ Wasser.
Racist? Yeah.
The potential racist, yes. They drafted him early. I mean, they traded up to get him. So
I mean, you don't leave a kicker on the practice squad unless you actually think he's hope for him. So
yeah.
And they want anybody better than Nick Folk.
That was the weekly dump. Guys, Manscaped, baby. You know we're going to talk about Manscaped. We've been talking about Manscaped for months. And if you haven't gotten on the Manscaped train, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Guys, fantasy football draft season is upon us. We're already done with the drafts. It's fantasy football season. Due to quarantine, it's very possible. There it is, Al. Is that thing used? Ew.
No.
Due to quarantine.
Clean it. Waterproof. Run under the faucet.
It's very possible that you might have Zeke's haircut in your pants. That means an afro. And guys, if you got that going on in your pants, right? Zeke has an afro going on right now.
It's enough hair to call it an afro.
He's got something weird going on up there.
The moral is Zeke's got a lot of hair going on and if you've got that going on in your pants, that is a problem. That's why our partners at Manscaped have partnered with us to make sure that you guys don't gamble on shaving your balls the same way that you like to gamble on football. Guys, when it comes to men's hygiene, Manscaped is as good and safe as Christian McCaffrey in a PPR league.
Look how quiet that is.
I know.
Sneak off if
it's unreal quiet. Listen,
no idea.
The reason that I got quiet there is because we got to talk about some stories. We got to talk about stories about shaving your balls, and I haven't talked about this one in a while. But when I was a child, when I was an adolescent, or to go back to what I was saying earlier in the show, when I was an adolescent who thought I was going to get married at 25, I also thought that you had to trim that area with scissors. You know what I did? I caught the nutsack. You know how brutally traumatic that was? I didn't want to go to school the next day. Nobody knew, but it just fucking hurt. And that will not happen now with Manscaped. Guys, listen, buy it for everybody that you know. The Lawnmower 3.0 is the best hygiene tool for the modern man because of their ceramic blade and skin-safe technology. Your nicks and snags will be reduced. This is the perfect protection needed for your franchise quarterback. The Lawnmower 3.0 is also waterproof and has an LED light on it. Game changer. Guys, they released this year's 2.0 nail kit, which we have, which is the perfect add-on to their Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer. It's friggin' amazing. It's got everything that you need in there. No one likes an undergroomed set of feet, fingers, and most importantly, your testicles, your balls. That's why they have forever changed the grooming game with their Perfect Package 3.0. The Perfect Package 3.0 comes with new and improved lawnmower performance boxer briefs, which I use to golf every single time. It doesn't improve my game. I still suck at golf, but I don't chafe the big old thighs I got, which is the only thing that matters. That's why they forever changed the grooming game with their Perfect Package 3.0. Guys, the Perfect Package 3.0 kit comes with the new and improved lawnmower performance boxer briefs, which I just read, and what is that, Mookie and Mitch? Boo. Yeah. And a travel bag for you to use when we're done quarantining, and some other liquid formulations like the Crop Preserver and Crop Reviver. Thank you, Al. That was it if you're watching on video. The Crop Preserver is anti-chafing ball deodorant, perfect for those smelly-ass testes you got going on, which ensures that your afternoon stroll doesn't end with your balls sticking to your leg or smelling like eggs. The Crop Reviver is a spray-on toner for your balls. It's made with soothing aloe and witch hazel extracts that will give you your testes a boost. For your limited time subscribers, get not one, but 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag $39 value add, and the patented high-performance anti-chafing Manscaped boxer briefs. Guys, listen. Get 20% off with free shipping with the code CouchGuy20 at Manscaped.com. That's 20% off with the free shipping with the code CouchGuy20 at Manscaped.com. Again, that is 20% off with the free shipping at Manscaped.com using promo code CouchGuy20, CouchGuy20. Guys, it's time to give your testes the absolute besties with Manscaped. Shout out to our guys and girls over at Manscaped. All right, getting to the meat of the show here.
You want to know something miserable? Just real quick.
What?
Thursday night, the Browns playing the Bengals. Thursday Night Football.
Terrible.
They're going to have 5 hours and 20 minutes of pregame.
Why?
There's the NFL Network's pregame coverage begins at 3 p.m. Eastern with Thursday Night Football First Look, hosted by Andrew Siciliano.
That sounds terrible.
5 hours to pregame Baker Mayfield getting smacked around by Joe Burrow.
You can't talk about that game. The Bengals are going to win that game. I have no
Joe Burrow's first. Joe Burrow should be 1-0. put it that way. And he's going to become
The
1-1.
Browns are
Brownies,
garbage.
Baker Mayfield, and Odell Beckham poop on me face.
Well, we'll agree to disagree on that.
Hey, don't talk smack about OBJ, okay?
I
We might need him
can't.
here.
He's on my fantasy team. I can't.
I want Allen Robinson, baby. Give me Allen Robinson.
One of the two. But I got a feeling OBJ is going to be on his way out of Cleveland anytime now. But listen, which would be good for Al, because Al, that is something that was rule number 1 in fantasy this year, at least in my mind. Don't even sniff OBJ.
Someone else was going to be dumb and do it.
Somebody else, Al Nahigian. But hey, listen, if the Patriots need an over-the-top receiver, they do. Bird did not look like the guy this past week. So let's get into the Patriots week 1. Bird did not look like the guy that we I don't even know if anticipated is the right word.
Did Cam even look his way? Like,
no.
he was
not
in
really,
almost
but he
every
also
play.
wasn't getting open. He wasn't getting open.
It was Harry and Edelman. That's the only 2 receivers he was really looking at.
Izzo got a catch?
Yeah, 1.
They need an over-the-top receiver. They need just another weapon, like a reliable weapon. They need another reliable weapon. They do. And if they don't get that, I'll be honest, I don't necessarily know how far this team's going to go, at least when it comes to, I don't want to talk about postseason now. It's after week 1, but they need something else. And if OBJ is as unhappy as he seems to be in Cleveland, which he should be, they fucking stink. Baker Mayfield. I was the number 1 Baker Mayfield fan going. What is wrong with you?
Look like him.
I look like Baker. Oh, kind of. Whose commercial is Baker the spokesperson for? Is it State Farm?
Progressive?
I think it is Progressive.
Is it Progressive? What are they doing? Why is Baker still your spokesperson?
Like, people still love me some Baker. I still like Baker.
Baker the touchdown maker or the interception maker, whichever way you want to look at it.
They're good commercials, but at one point you got to be like, all right, this guy kind of stinks.
Yeah,
because the best commercial is the one when he has people over at the stadium. He's like, all right, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Have a good night. Drive
that's
safely.
a good one.
Oh,
he has more commercials than wins.
I got to stop hosting.
He does. No, he does have more commercials than wins. And I was full on the Baker Mayfield train. I really thought this guy was going to be like a legit NFL quarterback, and he just hasn't been. It's been a brutal look for him down there. But let's talk about the Patriots. And what were you going to say?
The only thing I was going to say about the Browns is just one quick thing, then we'll do all Patriots. Give them one more year. Give them this year. And then if they really stink again, then they're never going to be good.
Give them one more year?
This year, I'm saying. This year.
If they don't succeed this year,
yes, then they'll never be good.
Trash.
Yes,
you've got Kareem Hunt. You've got Nick Chubb. People are just ignoring this, too. They got Austin Hooper, who was one of the best tight ends in the league last year.
And a red zone threat that they missed with Njoku injured last year.
Yeah, you've got Njoku, who I'm high on. I think Njoku is actually a pretty decent tight end. Then you got Jarvis Landry, and you got OBJ. What?
There's no reason. There's no reason for them to suck.
There's none. But the Patriots, so they beat the Miami Dolphins this past weekend, which honestly, you expected that. But the story is, guys, Cam looked fucking good. And I know it's the Dolphins, but Cam looked there was a resemblance to old Cam in that game.
Nick, I'm one to pump the brakes because it was the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And they have a really hard test this weekend against Seattle. Mind you, their defense isn't the same as it's been, so they could also go in and do something against Seattle. But Cocky Cam is back, Nick. We've talked about this. Cocky Cam's back. And Cocky Cam needs to be back to win. First touchdown drive looked like he's been in the offense the whole day. He just looked like he's been in the Patriots offense forever. Now, granted, they did tailor a lot to him. When was the last time Brady ran an option, right? Never. So, Cam Newton, obviously, it was a beautiful option. He got a lot of good stuff. His first touchdown was a design run to him the whole way. That's the stuff that he, in that video a while back, was now Josh McDaniels, you're going to run stuff you never been able to call before. All that crap. Not wrong. But, there was some resemblance of the old Patriots offense in there. The play actions, the step back and passes, that Izzo catch is a prime example of play action over the middle to Gronk. That is what the Patriots offense is. You've heard nothing but him understanding the offense and grasping it. He looks super comfortable. The fact that they gave up that fumble and to kill Harry, you idiot, and then came back the next drive and like went down the field with all the poise in the world, and like it looked like nothing happened because Cam just came out, led this team. Everyone's bought in with Cam, and that's a big part of this. Everyone on that team right now is all in with Cam, and that's what's helping. He defended N'Keal Harry today with that fumble. He came out and said, it wasn't his fault. Don't go down on him. He's a good player. Like, he's fine. Like, everyone get over it. It's one play. Like, would Tom have said that? No.
Tom would never throw to N'Keal Harry again.
No. He just shut him out.
So, Jared, if you're not going to pump the brakes, I'm going to pump the brakes. Because
you
guess what?
didn't even want Cam Newton on this team.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you idiot.
No, how am I the idiot? How am I the idiot?
You picked OBJ, and you didn't want Cam on this team.
Hold on.
Your guy didn't even suit up on Sunday. Wasn't even the backup.
Time out here a second.
Yeah, what's up to Jared Stidham?
Yeah, where is he? Where is Jared Stidham?
Time out. Cam looked good. He looked very good. I actually was like nodding my head. I'm like, okay, there's something to it here. But I'm not going to get pumped up about a week 1 home win against Miami, especially
against the home road crap. It's no one's there. Don't give
it doesn't
the home
matter.
road crap.
Jared, it doesn't matter. You would expect them to win at home with fans or without fans.
You know who struggled against the Miami Dolphins? Thomas Edward Brady.
Yes, because Brady is old, and we know
with
that.
The same receiving core, same people.
If Cam leads the Patriots to a win in week 2 in Seattle, or if he leads them to a competitive game, like a 1-score game, then I'll be like, okay, I'm excited for this guy.
Like, that's more on the defense. If you beat Seattle, it's because your defense is good, like they are, and they're going to keep you in this game. Like, the Patriots are going to go 11-5 this year because the defense is good.
So if the defense is good, but then Cam has a bad game, what are you going to say about that? Yes, the defense is good, but are you still going to be like, oh, Cam looked really good? Or are you going to step back and be like, let's see him do that against a very solid defense?
We'll judge him based on his performances, obviously.
Can't be mad at something he hasn't done yet, Al. All he's done is look good in a Patriot uniform.
And you gotta, like, you have to be impressed with what he did. Like, this was his first legitimate game back, and he looked good. Like, it looked like old Cam Newton. And you're right. Like, I'm not gonna get amped. Like, I don't think like this team's going to the Super Bowl now because Cam Newton did what he did on Sunday. But he looked good. It's better than, and this is stating the obvious, it's better than if he went out there and he couldn't hit any passes, if his accuracy was garbage.
And there are still some things too, like if you look at the game and like kind of to Al's point, he still needs to get better because like there are times where there was obvious a blitz coming and he didn't check out of it. Like that's a Brady thing to do because he's been in the offense forever and decides he knows what he wants to do. But like there are times where Cam could have pulled out of plays and changed things up, and there are times that he did. So like, you know, for 1 week in the Patriots offense that's supposedly really complex, he looked very comfortable.
Listen, something that I did get worried about though,
does got to
I'm going to continue being worried about this, is I thought because he's battled injuries the past couple of years, which has been the main reason why he's been out. And he's coming back from injury from last season too. I thought, so he's 31 now, correct?
Yep.
I thought that because of this, the old Cam Newton, he would lower his shoulder and run right through you. I was like, he won't do that again. He did that again. I thought he was going to come out and protect himself a little bit. He didn't. And that part worries me because again, I mean, we just talked about Jared Stidham, and we're just giving you shit because I still think Jared Stidham has a chance to be legit, but who knows at this point. I don't think it bodes well that he wasn't even suited up for the game for week 1.
Want to know why he wasn't suited up? Because what if Cam got hurt?
Yeah, exactly. They didn't trust him.
If you don't think Jared Stidham's ready after a short preseason, you don't make him the backup quarterback of a team that literally could have their starting quarterback go down any minute.
Right, especially a guy who's coming off of injury. But that's what I mean. Like Cam, I really thought that he was going to come into this season and not hit as much as he did in the past, but he didn't. He lowered his shoulder. He was hitting people. Kind of scares me. But, I mean, passing-wise, he didn't do great cumulative-wise for yards.
He was accurate. He was 15 for 19.
He went 15. That's what I'm saying. He went 15 for 19. So he didn't get a ton of yards. But he went 15 for 19.
But it wasn't designed to go more than 15. They designed him to only throw 19 times. Like the game plan was because they knew they could get away with it. Let's show him what we need to do. Let's run a bunch of times with Cam to prove that he can still do it. And I think that's part of the gameplay, right? Like, you can run against the Dolphins and get away with it, but now you've shown every other team that you're going to play that, well, hey, Cam can still run.
Yeah, because Miami's defense was about last in every statistical category last year, so it makes sense. I don't care you got Kyle Van Noy. I don't care you got Landon Roberts. I don't care that you basically are becoming the Patriots 2.0. You're still not that good.
They added good, solid players.
Yeah, that we
They're
could
still
use
not
right
that
now,
good.
Al. Okay.
That they're still not that good.
No, what? Yeah, they'll be
They're
fine.
right. Nobody's saying they beat the Kansas City Chiefs, but for a week,
no, that's week 4. We got to worry about that in week 4.
If they do that, Super Bowl's back on.
Yes. I want to like Cam Newton. I want to like him.
I think this is unnecessary on your part, Al. I want you to apologize to Cam Newton right now.
No, I'm not
Look
going
into
to
the camera.
Apologize.
Look into the camera.
Look into the camera.
No.
And apologize to Cam Newton.
I'm sorry for absolutely nothing.
Listen, if you're gonna say that, you gotta say it in Irish accent. You gotta rip out the Conor McGregor. I cannot pull off to absolutely nobody. See, I can't do it. Cam, I mean not Cam. That Conor McGregor line is forever one of the greatest. Let me see if I can get it.
Oh, it's unreal. That's all it is. It's just unreal. One word.
All right, Boston Red Sox went down. But no, I mean, listen, Cam is absolutely going to have a better season than I think a lot of people like Al believe that he would have. I think Cam is going to be solid this year. I don't know if he's not going to be 2015 Cam Newton. Nobody's expecting that. But with the combination of Bill Belichick, Josh McDaniels, and Cam Newton, I think this offense is going to be a lot better than what people anticipated. I think there's a very good chance, especially with Damian Harris coming back, who I have high hopes for, that this offense is going to be better than it was last year.
And the game looked good. J.J. Taylor looked good. Sony looked okay.
Real good.
Sony looked okay.
Got in the end zone.
Did you see the excitement between Cam Newton and Josh McDaniels? The fist bumps on the sideline.
Guys,
they're having fun. Josh McDaniels doesn't have to deal with Brady's attitude anymore. We're ready to go. New era. Dynasty 2.0. Give me Cam for the next 3 years. Let's do it.
And this was all because I said that it was against Miami. Conor McGregor. that's
fun fact, I watched Conor McGregor's fight against Khabib in Dublin, Ireland, where I watched him get his ass whooped. I didn't know it was not him, but on TV. Watched him get his ass absolutely whooped. Bad look there. And in my taxi driver, I want to know a fun fact about that night too. My taxi driver ordered a taxi like an hour and a half earlier. The guy was not coming. Suddenly showed up immediately after the Conor McGregor fight was done.
Shocker.
Yeah. That son of a bitch was watching the fight and wasn't coming to pick me up. My drunk ass up. And over there, it was like 5 a.m. because they're 5 hours behind. Whatever it was ridiculous. Anyway, overall, the Patriots offense looked decent. And there's room for improvement. And yeah, again, it was the Dolphins. But also, they put up 21 points. And
should have been 28.
Should have been 20. Okay, thank you. They put up 21 points. Should have been 28 points. Cam went 15 for 19. And that is with 0 preseason games. This offense is going to get better. This defense is going to get better. They're going to win. Listen, watching Josh Allen throw 10 feet over, whose head was it in the end?
You better be careful here because you're insulting Mike Gilligan and Steve Scott's boy. You just remember that when you say that.
Good.
Oh, Mike Gilligan, Steve Scott. Listen, that guy stinks.
That guy's terrible.
Thank you.
That guy, he's got a cannon for an arm. That's it.
People think that they're going to win the division because of Josh Allen. Like, no.
Yeah.
We're going to win the division because of Josh Allen.
Beat the Patriots first, then you can talk about winning the division.
Congratulations. You got Stephon Diggs. You know what you have to do? You have to throw a pass to him so he can catch it, not throw 10 feet over your receiver, your target in the end zone.
When they got Stephon Diggs, they celebrated like they signed Brady. Like
it was unreal.
They thought they won the sweepstakes. Oh my God, we did it. No, you didn't do anything.
Josh Allen
when do we play the Bills? Like week 6?
No. We should get the small states guys on here one night. And we should smoke them when it comes to Josh Allen.
You tell me that Josh Allen's good. Who
on the Couch Guys Sports Network likes Danny Jones?
Pete Chatterton.
I like him.
Chatterton? I like Danny Jones too.
And one of our other new writers is a Giants fan too.
And let me just say this. Let me make the statement right here, right now. I would 1,000,000 times take Daniel Jones over Josh Allen.
Danny Dimes.
I would take Danny Dimes over Josh Allen in a heartbeat. Maybe not in fantasy this year.
Oh, sorry, Nick. Dan Dimes. I'm buddies with Nick. I'm buddies with him. Dan
Dimes. Listen. Does Dan Tice know we're buddies? Does Dan Tice know we're buddies? No, he doesn't. But we are. Mark it.
You snuck into his Xbox Live party once while he was on the bubble, and you thought you guys became best friends after
Hell
that?
yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't gotten an invite to his, I don't know, is he getting married? Maybe to his future wedding? I don't know. Is he married? Sounds like something you would know if you were his friend.
This is getting off the rails real quick.
Al, clearly you still haven't been on the show enough to understand.
I know. I've listened, though. I've listened.
Hey, listen, Al was a big fan of the show before all of this. Before you even, was it before you joined Couch Guy?
It was when you were on. It's when you guys were loose change with Lauren.
Oh, the good old days, guys. I forgot about that.
That was a while back. Al's an OG, and now Al's on the show. This is unfucking.
Yeah, if you remember the name being Loose Change,
I got you.
You're an OG.
I was looking for a pod one day, and I'm like, oh, Loose Change, Boston sports. This makes sense. I hear you two. I'm like, these guys have something. They might suck a little bit, but they have something here. I don't know.
Yeah, that's all right.
It was the Loose Change podcast till we figured out that there was also a 9/11 conspiracy theories show called Loose Change.
Had to nip that in the butt real quick.
And then you came up with the most bland name ever, Couch Guys Sports.
Someone had to do the Couch Guys Sports Network podcast, and that was the first one. Had to start somewhere.
Hell yeah.
Allen.
Mr.
Allen.
Mr. Allen.
All right, moving on, though. Patriots, good first week. New England Patriots. Anything else you want to talk about with them for week one? Other than Cam,
yeah, and the Red Sox still suck. So move on.
No, I was going to say
did nothing.
Moving on to football, Tom Brady, bad.
That old bastard.
You know what the biggest takeaway was though with Tom Brady's first game against the Saints, and it was the Saints, whatever. Tom looked a lot like he did last year, where he couldn't hit passes, where he was throwing it short, where he was inaccurate. He looked good early on.
And people last year were so like, oh, no, Tom's fine. It's the receiver's fault. Tom missed a lot of open guys last year. Like, he wasn't great. Now, like, would I have loved him back? Yes. I wouldn't have been mad at all. I would have loved him to be
I'm having fun with Cam. I am.
But I'm also really enjoying Cam, so it's fine. When I was watching that game, first drive, Tommy comes out. Saints don't score. Tommy comes out, just drives down the field, touchdown, easy. It looked like nothing. And I'm like, oh, God, here it comes.
I was wrecked.
They're going to win like 35-7. This is going to be stupid, and everyone's going to talk about Brady being the great, which I'm fine with. I'm rooting for him. And then the rest of the game just, wow. Did he look like a guy who is 43 years old and is on an undisciplined team?
Right, and that's another thing, another takeaway there, is that looks like a Bruce Arians team.
Yeah. Bruce Arians is calling him out already. Bruce Arians came out and said, yeah, Tom
needs more grit. He needs more grit.
He tried to blame the Mike Evans miscue on him. Like, Mike Evans just stopped running, and they went, it's Brady's fault.
Wasn't a great throw, though, either.
That's what I was going to say. I think it's both their faults.
Better.
Because Tom's throw there was absolutely garbage. I mean, like, yes?
It was crap. Like,
you can't just start a sentence and just pull back.
When you watch that throw, Sir Nicholas, it looked like last year. It honestly made me feel like I was watching last year. That pick six against Tennessee to end his Patriots career looked like the identical pick six he threw. It looked like the same throw he threw on Sunday for that pick six. Brady has to realize and now live with his mistakes. Like, I think Brady might, if this doesn't fix quickly, now granted, no preseason games, but again, Cam didn't have any preseason games. He looked pretty damn good. That's fine, right?
Tom's been around for a while.
If they don't fix this quickly, does Tom sit there and go, oh, crap. What did I do?
The Barstool meme said it all when Tom was sitting on the bench.
Like, what have I done? Like, he's getting mad about penalties. He's like, this way you play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, dude.
Oh, no. He's not getting mad, Jared. He was getting furious about penalties, full out screaming.
And like,
at referees.
I get it. No, not even with the referees. Like, he did that here. Like, it's whatever. Brady gets fumed, but like, silly offsides penalties on the Buccaneers, offsides encroachment penalties that like
it was an
Patriots teams don't take. Patriots had 2 penalties on Sunday. That's a Patriots. That's what Brady's used to. You put him in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization who are used to losing. After that game, there was a reporter who literally said, how do you keep this from spiraling to 2, 3, 4 losses? Like, she's ready for it. Like they're already begging for 4 losses in a row, and basically you already had he was Jameis Winston on Sunday. He literally was Jameis Winston. He threw 2 picks. He got the balls downfield, and you might as well have kept Jameis Winston if he was going to play like that.
Now you know who else looked bad? Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah,
He looked slow.
He looks like a guy who slowed down before his career ended 2 years ago, and then took a year off. He didn't look good at all.
Hey, Nick, and guess what the Patriots got for him? 4th-round pick.
Ooh.
4th-round pick for that guy.
Listen, people get upset at Bill all the time for making these deals, for making these trades. But he's right a lot of the time. Sir, he misses a bunch, but he's a gambler.
Draft a receiver.
Yeah, he's a gambler, though. He takes those gambles. He took potentially the greatest tight end, the most talented tight end of all time, and was willing to trade him to Detroit and had a trade set up before Gronk threatened retirement on him. And I don't know if there are any other coaches out there that would do that, because Gronk, he started to decline, but there was no idea that he was going the way that he did, especially the year after.
I mean, thankfully they didn't know, because he helped you win a Super Bowl.
Right.
But,
and he did that. I mean, he made that huge catch. But Bill, my point is, Bill's not afraid to do that stuff. I mean, remember this. I mean, Malcolm Butler was coming up for a contract extension. And Bill, the second free agency opened, said, Stephon Gilmore of the Buffalo Bills, get your ass here. Let me make you one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid cornerback in football. And everybody's like, what the fuck? You got Malcolm Butler.
I was like, who's Stephon Gilmore? Like,
right. Everybody was like, what?
Who's this?
And now Stephon Gilmore,
the Bills?
He made the all-pro team last year. I mean, Bill just knows what he's doing.
And defensive player of the year.
He was the defensive player of the year.
Bill does it. Bill knows. Bill understands. And
guys,
he knew
how bad do the Bills look? The Bills just didn't pay this guy.
The Bills look bad. I mean, they got Tre'Davious White now, which is
nobody circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills.
And they ain't winning shit this year.
But by the way, the Bucks, you guys can't tell me that with these next 4 games, home against Carolina, at Denver, home against the Chargers, at Chicago, you can't tell me
2-2. 2-2.
They should go 2-2.
You're crazy.
They'll go 2-2.
They should go 2-2.
You are crazy.
Give me those teams against. What do you think? Carolina, the Chargers, and Denver.
Carolina win. They're going to be. They're going to be Carolina.
Why do you think
that? The weapons that they have in place, you think that they're not better than Carolina?
Teddy Bridgewater week, right? Over Josh Allen.
Are they playing Carolina this week?
Yes, coming up.
That's a loss. They're going to go 0-2.
Yep. 0-2. Teddy Bridgewater.
0-2.
Put my trust in Teddy Bridgewater.
At Denver?
A win because there's no crowd.
Okay, thank you. At least you can admit that. And they have is it Drew Lock or Trevor Lock? I always forget.
Drew Lock.
Drew Lock. Okay. So
I got no fan of my team who scored.
Me too, baby.
Looked pretty good.
You have Drew Lock as your quarterback, and you lost your defensive captain for the year in Von Miller. Home against the Chargers.
That's a win.
Tyrod Taylor sucks. So that's 2-2 right there. Bam. There we go.
2.
No, that's it can't be 2-2 because that's 3 games, Jared.
Okay, well give us a.
But they already lost one
at Chicago.
I meant 2-2 after 4, but okay. Oh, they'll lose to Chicago.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to beat Chicago.
Mitchie Trubisky, baby, he looked good. The Bears looked good.
Mitch didn't look bad week 1.
Dude, Al, you are just like banking on Brady being Brady, and you're not watching what he looks like.
Brady's not the same guy.
All the weapons they have in place. They're going to continuously get better.
What did he do with those weapons? Nothing. Mike Evans caught 1
ball. It was
Chris Godwin's probably missing this week. Chris Godwin's probably out this week.
Dead and doesn't exist. Chris Godwin's not going to play. Mike Evans still is injured. Tom Brady's 43 years old. Yeah, I'm going to use that because he doesn't play for the Patriots. And Leonard Fournette is supposedly your best running back.
I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Overrated team. This is what everyone reacted like this to the Browns. Now, granted, Tom Brady's not Baker Mayfield, but everyone put the Browns together and had all this talent on paper, and they can't win that, get out of their own way because they aren't coached well. Bruce Arians is too player-centric, and Bruce Arians will not win anything.
Jared, I'll bet you right now that they win this Sunday. The Buccaneers win this Sunday.
What are you going to bet? I want to join.
Wait, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I'm in. Let's do it.
You guys win. I'll give you $10 each. Yeah,
$10 each.
You guys win. I'll give you $10 each. I win. You give me 20. So 10 each from you guys.
I can do that.
I can do that. Let's do it.
Short money.
It's easy. My Venmo's open, baby. Let's do it.
Short money. I'll be waiting for that 20. Just saying. Thank you.
Dude, I don't think they're gonna win.
They're not gonna win this week.
That's a bad dude. Chris Godwin's probably out.
What time's their game? Hold on, let's look at this.
I think it's a 1:00 game. Hold on, I got you covered. Yeah, it's a 1:00 game.
Chris Godwin is probably going to be out, and Mike Evans is not 100%. And Gronk stinks.
It's in. Don't talk him out of it. Come on, don't talk him out of it. I need to know.
Too late. We already made the bet.
Listen. I am a man of my word. Quags knows this. I'm a man of my word.
Yeah.
If I lose, I'll pay you the money and say you guys got me. Plain and simple.
Okay,
but then
you're gonna be paying us money.
No, I'm not. That's the thing. That's the funny thing. I'm not.
And back
I'm getting $23 because Teddy Bridgewater is not beating Tom Brady in week 2, and he's not beating that Bucs team.
This is Al's history, right? So a couple weeks ago, we had Charlie Smith on the Triangle podcast. Al bet a bottle of wine at the beginning of the season, and he's going to lose that bet.
That was before. No. I don't want to hear that. That was before all the injuries and all that thing.
Injuries, they just suck.
They suck. So Al's going to lose that bet, and now he's coming on here uber confident about Tom Brady's injured and the reluctant Bucs to play. Teddy Bridgewater, baby. Let's go.
Teddy Bridgewater, we trust. Oh, man, I'm pumped for Teddy Bridgewater to be back, baby.
Dude, Teddy Bridgewater's Christian McCaffrey all day. Let's go.
Oh,
I'm in my Carolina colors. Let's go. Panthers. Let's go.
Oh, man, I can't wait. I'm gonna buy Chipotle on Sunday. At 5 o'clock.
Good. Think of me when you do, if you win that bet, which you're not going to do. And I got some money to play with, so don't worry about it.
Oh, we got big baller out here.
Al got a teaching job and now is like, ooh.
Oh my God, he's got cash on.
Is that a $5? Is that a $5 bill?
Do I have to hold it up to the screen?
No. All right.
Was that a 5 wrapped in ones? What?
Real quick.
I don't think Mr. Jackson's saying that.
We talking green. We talking Celtics. Celtics, Heat. Celtics down 0-1 right now at the current time of recording. Now look. So we record Wednesdays now. Podcast coming out on Thursdays.
Season 6.
They did not have a great fourth last night. Here's my prediction. If Kemba doesn't get going at all, they're not going to win this series.
But he came in the clutch. So, like, this is the argument for me. Kemba has looked awful. I can't defend that. But when you've needed him, fourth quarter, back to Toronto series last night, Kemba put you up, one with under 20. Like, you should have won that game multiple times. Kemba wasn't the reason why you lost that game. Jayson Tatum is the reason why you lost that game.
Jayson Tatum, listen, I don't understand why in the last whatever many minutes, Jayson Tatum's chucking up three. And I'm like, dude, drive the hole. And then the last chance, he drives the hole.
This is what that end of regulation, right? You get lucky. They call a foul before they inbound the play, right? You get a free throw, and instead of being down by 1, you're tied. So now there's no pressure to score a basket. You only need a bucket to win. Doesn't matter what kind. You have supposedly an MVP, like an all-star. I mean, like, and all those things, accolades on Tatum with the ball in his hands. 22 seconds. They don't run the offense. He dribbles down and then hucks a 3 from like 40,000 feet. And yeah, it almost went in. Whatever. And do I think he can make those usually? Yes. But when you only need a 2, can't you go to something like a mid-range shot, which you clearly love Tatum? Tatum doesn't miss, like, posting up somebody, juking somebody mid-range, even like on the 3-point line, not like 40 feet behind it, or going to the hoop. Like, the last play of the game, that block by Bam, no problem. Tatum did the right thing, and most times he probably dunks that. Guys, the Celtics have issues closing games. And part of that is because Tatum wants the ball at all times, and he wants to be the guy in isolation. That's the league now. That's the way it's gone. Kemba's looked like crap for the most part. And for the most part, throughout the entire game, they run Brad's offense. They pass the ball. They get open shots. And look, they had 2 double-digit leads. They were up by 14 points in the third quarter. Somehow they won a third quarter finally, and they lost.
They should have won that game. There's no question.
They are the better team. They have more talent. Yeah, your boy Dan Tice getting fouled out didn't help the cause.
Dan Tice, man.
And they didn't put Robert Williams in, so, like, that didn't help the cause. But, like, they played well enough. Brad Wanamaker, great game. Grant Williams went in and did enough. Like, they got enough from everybody. They choked. It should be 1-0 Boston. You should win the series in 5. But now you have to win it in 6. They're the better team, and if they don't win this series, it's a colossal failure. And Jay Crowder is going to rub it in your face all day, every day if you lose. Like, you're letting a guy named Hero beat you.
I can't. And Hero's a douche.
It's Hero.
I thought it was Hero.
I did too, but all of a sudden it's Hero.
I think he changed it. I think he told him.
I think he legit changed it.
I'm going
because I thought it was Hero too.
Tyler, fine. We'll go with Hero because I don't want to call him Hero. A guy named Tyler Hero is beating you because you can't like the Miami Heat offense is ridiculous. They pass the ball. They have so many shooters. They do everything right, and even at the end of the game, they don't typically give the ball to Jimmy Butler every single time.
No,
they're more bought in with Spoelstra than the Celtics are with Brad right now, and that's a problem.
What they did last night, because they weren't missing their deep threes, and like they weren't taking easy 3-point shots. They were hitting contested deep threes. They're not going to do that every game, and if they do that every game, you're fucked anyway.
Oh, Nick,
they will not do that every game.
That team can shoot. Like, no joking here. Like that team.
They can shoot, but they weren't missing. So you have to stop that, and if you can't stop that, you're dicked. You just gotta hope that they miss.
I mean, the thing is, the Celtics are one of the best perimeter defensive teams in the league.
Right.
So like, you have to think this kind of like evens itself out. Like Kemba's numbers, you'd think that he figures it out. Like, because really he had a great season. You just need him to play better now. This team is screwed if Miami keeps shooting the ball like that, though. You're right.
Listen, there's two easy things that you have to fix to be able to win this series. Jared just mentioned one, the perimeter defense, because I don't know what you guys thought, but for me, when I watched this game, the perimeter defense, especially in the second and the fourth quarters, were god-awful.
Well, they stopped playing.
God-awful.
They got big leads and they stopped playing both times. That's
right.
And they do that all the time.
They were up by 14, and then they went, now we're good. Like,
they did it all season.
Marcus Smart even said it. Marcus Smart even said it. They got complacent. By the way, number 2, rebounding. And I'm not saying you have to necessarily win the rebounding battle, but you got to keep it close, and you have to get those 50-50 balls.
This team never wins the rebounding battle.
No, they're never going to. But you got to keep it close, and you have to get those 50-50 balls because I saw too many times where basketballs would literally be right in the hands of a Celtic, and it would just slip through, and the Heat magically get it, and then they just hit another 3 with Jake Crowder sitting in the corner.
See, that's the problem.
And doing what he couldn't do.
It's the Heat offensive rebounds.
And he was doing what he couldn't do in a Celtics uniform and hit threes in the playoffs.
See, so like Jake Crowder has been phenomenal from behind the arc this whole playoff. Like if you've been watching Heat games, which I have, he's been like lights out, and you get pissed because you're like, wait, where was this when you were in green? But I think part of it is he's getting better looks from a Heat side of things because they're in the offense better. Look at that pass he made to Jimmy Butler, Jake Crowder, right? That pass that he made to Jimmy Butler, he had an open 3, and he gave it out and dished it down low instead and gave Butler an easy dunk. Wide open. It was the right play. Don't you think Crowder would have hucked that thing up in a Celtics uniform?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
He has just played. He's a big factor now. Kelly Olynyk, whatever. He's on the bench. He hasn't played. But, like, Jay Crowder, he's on a mission. Like, my Lord, is he on a mission. And
he wants to beat the Celtics.
If they keep shooting like this. Yeah, of course he does. Because he felt like betrayed just like IT did. Like, he wanted to be here.
Well, yeah. I mean, remember, he got pissed when everybody cheered for Gordon Hayward when we knew he was going to be a free agent. And we were like, yeah, Gordon Hayward's better than you, Jay. Sorry. Bring Gordon Hayward in. We don't want you anymore. Real quick, and then we wrap this up.
Need Gordon Hayward.
You need Gordon Hayward to come back.
Desperately.
Robert Williams. He's not great, but I think defensively, when you need stops, why isn't he in the game?
Because he can't keep up. Like, he can't keep up with Bam. That's the problem. And Tice can keep up with Bam, but when he gets in foul trouble, which, again, you're right. Tice complains all the time. But to be fair, he usually has a gripe. Like, Tice is not allowed to play defense in the league.
No,
it's
kind of
ridiculous. Tice has been phenomenal, and if you're going to win, he needs to stay out of foul trouble because he actually can play defense against Bam.
Bless you.
Woo!
Woo!
Allergy season, baby. Woo! Season 6.
Right. Well, do you want to finish that thought, or do you want to just move on real quick to the fantasy football recap?
Yeah, I gotta go be a dad, so let's move on to the recap.
All right, let's move on to the recap. But first, guys, before we jump in, baby, we've got the Manscaped partnership, but we've also got some friends over at MyBookie. If you guys listened to the show last year too, you know that MyBookie was our partners for the start, at least, of football season. Guys, winning season returns at MyBookie. Winning season means doubling your first deposit. Winning season means insane props, epic bonuses, and the craziest cross-sport wagers. At MyBookie, winning season means watching live sports and betting live sports all season long. Rejoice, the NFL has returned. That means action-packed Sundays and huge cash prizes. Get in on the action and use promo code CouchGuy20, or just kidding, not CouchGuy20, Couch, C-O-U-C-H, and double your first deposit. New players get up to $1,000 in free play, designed to add more excitement to these sports that you love and the games that you bet. Bet with the best this NFL season for your chance to win big. Use promo code COUCH, C-O-U-C-H, and double your first deposit. Your winning season begins today only at MyBookie. Now let's get this going here. Listen, I love having Al on the show. I said that last week, okay? But one reason why I had to bring him on was because I told him. And I told everybody.
Now, hold on. But this is your time. Get it all out now, because then I get my rebuttal after. So get it all out.
I told everybody. ESPN making me the 6th best draft in the league. What are we talking about here? Not only did I beat Al, I scored the most points of the week in week 1. Dak Prescott, who didn't even have a typical fantasy football Dak Prescott type season or type game. Josh Jacobs. Oh, my Lord. He looks like a stud. Aaron Jones. Adam Thielen, 31 points. Juju Smith-Schuster, 24.9 points. And this was all with my tight end, Evan Engram, sucking ass and getting me a measly 2.9 points. McLaren. Guys, McLaren is going to have a massive season with Dwayne Haskins, 11.1 points. Baltimore's defense having a huge game against those shitty little Cleveland Browns, getting me 12 points. And then Matt Prater getting me 9 points. Guys, I trounced Al 162 to 04 to 108.58. It wasn't just a beat. It was a bloodbath. Go check out the Couch Guy Sports Fantasy. Every week we're going to have, who's doing it?
Gilly.
The guy who I smoked, baby. Oh, God, was that sweet. Had to what? So Gilly literally clapped back at me for the matchup from the Small State Big Takes Twitter account. Like,
which you do not follow.
I do now. I unfollowed them for the week. I'm not kidding. Mind games. I unfollowed them for the week. He clearly noticed. He if you read the article, it's great. He calls out that I didn't follow him, that I was playing mind games. He caught on. He was right. I just went and I followed them back the other day. They were like, "Oh, watch out, Mr. VP. Here we go." Do you guys know what the final score was?
I think I got it. Yeah, I got it right here.
You want to tell me? What was it?
131.96
to
89.64.
I beat him with 3 people still to play. 3 people had I could have just said, nah, I don't want their points this week. Let's roll them over.
Dude,
I mean, the old T-Mobile roll over the data.
Like, not only that, Le'Veon Bell had 6 points, and he's not playing now.
No, yeah, Gilly's
he's hurt.
It's funny. People have been coming at me like trying to trade people. I'm like, why? I've gotten so many trade requests. And
I got one so far.
I've gotten 3, 1 in each league. I'm not joking. I just went 3-0. Why would I trade anything yet? Like, somebody in one of my leagues tried to ask me for Josh Jacobs. I'm like, why would I do that?
It was Small State Big Cakes, since we're talking about them. He offered me Kerryon Johnson and Gronk for, I think it was McLaren.
What?
No, thank you.
Fair.
No, thank you.
By the way, speaking of Small State Big Takes, I got a little update for you guys. I let Steve Scott know that you guys were shitting on Josh Allen.
Good, Steve.
His response, all caps, what? When?
Now, listen to the podcast, Steve. Listen, love you, buddy. I think you guys are great. But your take on Josh Allen stinks. Stinks. That guy stinks at being a quarterback in the NFL. I don't know if this guy knows. His main job, his career path is to be a good quarterback in football. And he's not doing well with it. He's not. The guy can't throw completed passes. He stinks at it. Wrapping it up, though, Boston Antidote, and I don't know who's who. Boston
Antidote is Diego.
139.8 to Team Buckley, 103.42. Team Waleed, the commish beat Chowder.
Team name Waleed.
Powder.
Team name.
123 to 106.6. I think that was it, right? Yeah, I think that was it.
Connor and Fred.
Oh, and then one more, Connor and Fred. Fred is the Sharks, right?
Yep, Fred won.
145.58 clickbaits. I mean, Connor not bad. 125.2. He was up against somebody good.
Team Waleed and Team Nahigian.
I have a name now. You can't say that.
Get a team name, bro.
He did add a
changed my
team name after everybody
What
was
is
giving him shit for it in the group chat. It's Wilson. Exclamation point, exclamation point.
Yeah.
He's got
It's something.
He's got Russell Wilson. It's better than Team Nahigian.
It is. This is true.
Couch Guy Sports Podcast 173 in the books. Nick Quaglia, Jared Scali, and Al Nahigian joining the show this week. Guys, fantasy football, it's going to be happening all year. We're going to be talking about it all year. We're going to give you guys updates every week. Don't forget to check out the blogs every week. Catch Al's main podcast, Legends Lingo Podcast, with him, Chowder, and Fiesta. And we've got everything else. We got the Small State Big Takes, guys. I would list off every podcast, but we just can't do it at this point. Catch the BSP's Blocked List on the YouTube channel, guys. It's a great show. Check it out with the one and only Brianna Peer. You guys can see her all over Twitter. I'm sure you have if you're any part of Patriots Twitter. And then our fantasy sports show, Your Fantasy Two Dudes Fake Balls with Connor Ryan and Steve Scott. Rate and subscribe on iTunes. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on everything at Couch Guy Sports. And then the podcast on Twitter at Couch Guy Podcast. Nick Quaglia, Jared Scali, Al Nahigian. Guys, we're going to be back next week for episode number 174. We'll talk to you then, guys. Thanks for listening. And thanks for watching.
See you guys.
Oh, wait. Shit.